You know we're getting snow when the snowmobiles are coming down the street. I love it.
Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh.
Welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. In this video, we have a snowpocalypse situation. We got dumped on overnight. I mean, snow up to my knees and higher in some cases. Pretty much everything's closed down. No one's really going anywhere except lifted pickup trucks. But we have arguably the perfect snow vehicle right here. It is an Audi A6 Allroad, which is the sort of off-roady A6 wagon light road. And Audi terms, this is called Allroad. So we're going to put it to the test and drive it down roads some other cars haven't dared to try. This is the 2021 Audi A6 Allroad. It comes standard with the 55 trim, which is a 3-liter turbocharged, direct injected 6-cylinder engine. It is a V6 engine. It is a 48-volt mild hybrid system as well, and I believe the way Audi integrates this is with a electric turbocharger, essentially a supercharger, because it's not exhaust driven, it's electric motor driven, and it can spool up really quick instantly, sort of eliminating lag. It also has a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which I'm really excited to try out, because in this wet, thick snow, are we going to burn the clutches? Are we going to overheat the system by starting off? This will be really interesting. This does use a wet clutch system, so I'm hoping it can at least hold up to the abuse of having to start and stop and maybe even rock back and forth in this sort of crazy conditions. Let me show you around the car. Base price for an Allroad is $65,900. This particular one's $71,990. It has the Prestige pack, but overall pretty lightly optioned, and I think that might be the way to do it. 72 grand puts it right in line with the Volvo V90 Cross Country that we sampled here on this channel a few weeks back, and they sort of target the same audience. There's a cross country and an all-road are the lifted wagons, and yeah, it's kind of a niche market, but I really like this marketplace. You know, I'm a wagon guy. This particular one, painted in Soho brown. It's like the journalist special, a brown wagon. Love it. It's on beige interior as well, which is great. Let me show you around the trunk space. This is why you buy a wagon, of course, because you can just put anything you could possibly want inside. This particular one has the power cargo partition as well. You can fold the seats down from the back. There's slight little bit of underfloor storage here as well. Not much, but enough where you can put a couple little things like a laptop or whatever under there. Pretty neat. And then of course you have your 2 power closing buttons. One just closes the trunk, the other one locks the car. Now I know you want to go out and explore the snow, so we're going to do that, but I'm also going to tell you about the Allroad because I want to show you around the car, but I also want to show you around our town and see what's going on. You can look over here, you can see big pickup trucks going through the snow, big Jeep over there, but honestly that's about it. This is our cameraman Timons. This is his Focus RS. You wouldn't even know because it's just covered in snow. So we'll see if we can get the Audi stuck. I had it out earlier today and actually in really deep snow and just had it pegged going down the street. Coolant temperatures were rising up because it was in boost the entire time, shredding down the street. So let's try to avoid that now. But I do want to show you guys how good this car is in the snow. We are on just regular all-season tires, but with the adjustable suspension, we can get some good ground clearance. A couple more inches over a normal Audi Avant wagon, which is great. Let's jump in, take it for a ride. So in terms of vehicle setup, I have a drive select function here, multiple other things that we'll get into in a little bit, but let's hit the drive select, and I'm going to select Allroad. I spoke to some friends at Audi, and they said this is sort of the perfect snow mode. There's also auto comfort, dynamic. You can adjust your own individual settings, and then an off-road setting that does a really good job of locking the wheels. Although we are also in Allroad defaults to the second from highest suspension setting. So I have raised us up to the full height, and this only works at low speed, but it'll be helpful for getting out of the driveway. Let me turn the rear wiper off, and let's make sure no cars are coming. So we're gonna just go out with a little bit of speed, push through these snow patches. Here we go. Sometimes you just need to give it the beans to get out in the street. Into drive. And I think I'm gonna use manual mode and lock it in first or second while we're moving. You can see The roads are much better condition than they were this morning, which is awesome. What we need to try out first of all is the acceleration in, wow, you can see this wind is gnarly. The acceleration from a stop with this dual clutch transmission. Audi, Volkswagen Group, everyone's been using dual clutches in their cars for a while. From Volkswagen Group, and honestly they are stellar. Really quick shifts. This particular one does not hold itself at the red line. You can see it blends in nicely even with wheel speed. We're just going to hit second gear here, keep the momentum. The shifts are really fast, which is awesome, and we are just full slidey getting caught in the ruts here, but you just got to keep your foot into it. And the Allroad system is doing an amazing job, considering the fact that this car is not on snow tires. This is just on all seasons, and it's plowing through some, you know, seriously, 1.5 feet, 2 feet of snow. Look, we can hit some of the fresh piles here. No problem at all. Just awesome. The goal here for maintaining travel is just keeping ourselves in this rut. You can see we're scraping a little bit. The Allroad has underbody skid plates as well, which we are taking full advantage of now. Even if the car didn't, it'd be fine. It's snow. It's not like it's really going to tear anything up. But I have to say, this thing's a beast. Let's see if we can explore some other parts of the town. You can see this guy shoveling his car over here, and lots to see. We have some downed trees here in Fort Collins. I think they were saying this is the worst storm that we've had in, what, 9 years, Alyssa? Something like that? So the goal here, maintain momentum, because if we happen to get out of the rut for whatever reason, we're going to have to power through. I'm not quite sure why this guy's stopping, but I'm going to stop back here so that we can build up speed, because there's no way we can get around him in the fresh stuff. So this truck is definitely stuck here, I believe. Yeah, they're shoveling it out, but it looks like we can find a path on the other side. We're going to have to just power through this here. Let's see if we can do it.
Back that ass up, dude.
Thanks everyone. Appreciate it. All right, this is gnarly. Shit. Look at this.
Wow.
Power in. This is, oh, speed bump.
That plow is plowing something, but I don't really see much.
Whoa, we're getting in the ruts. Power. There's that 48 volt just to boost it up when we needed it at low revs. Man, the engine response is significant on this car. I think he's plowing best he can up there. The Subi made it. Yeah, we're just going to let him figure out what direction, because we are going to have to come through with some speed. Just hanging a right here, getting into it. Oh yes, made it through. Some rooster tails. Gotta love it. So now I need to make a U-turn to get out to the main street. Timon, can you look behind us and see if we can get out through that way?
The Subaru did.
Yeah, but that...
You can also go straight left, and then the left at the bottom of the road.
I mean, this is back into some gnarly territory here. Alright.
Scuba Steve. That guy is literally brushing off his trees right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright, here we go.
See half a mile at Fort Collins.
This is like crazy because the ruts are so gnarly. So I guess we're gonna go left here. We just need to keep momentum. No other cars are coming, right?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Just an impressive skid to show off to the neighbors in the Audi. This is freaking awesome. Hey, those are our neighbors actually. Yeah. Yeah, they live across.
Across?
Yeah.
Oh.
This thing is just tobogganing down this hill. Freaking awesome.
Ken's trying to sled over there, but I don't even think you can sled in this snow yet.
Well, this is probably going to be plowed, yeah, because the fire station's here, so they definitely got this plowed out for them, which is good. So now we're back onto some good, fresh pavement. All right, here's our local Starbucks drive-thru. Let's just take a look. Honestly, it looks like we could make it through, but they are closed, aren't they?
Yes.
Shame.
Bummer. And a tree blocking. Oh, this is truly an apocalypse. When Starbucks closes, you know it's bad. So the Audi got us there. The main roads are fine, but good luck turning onto any of these side roads. Look at how high they've built up. All of these parking lot entrances and everything. Like, how are you supposed to get anywhere? I guess we'll take a tour downtown in the A6. Let's back the Audi out of Allroad and into comfort. We'll put ESP back on, and now we're cruising in arguably the best mile muncher you can buy. There's now plenty cars, of course, that are German hammers and they kind of just float down the highway and cover miles like nothing else. But this is totally one of them. You really get the sense of solidity, of quietness, of build quality when you drive this car. Everything from materials, but also the intangibles, the way that the car soaks up the bumps, the way that the glass is double glazed on this Prestige trim so that when you hit the glass, it's super solid. It almost hurts you to knock the glass. Other things, of course, very similar to other Audi models on the inside. We have the big shifter that can be put in manual mode. It's shifted the wrong way, by the way. You pull back to downshift and push forward to upshift. That's incorrect in my book. But of course you get steering wheel paddles which operate nicely. Because this is a dual clutch transmission, it snaps the shifts so well. And that was actually really useful in that deep snow because we didn't have any torque interruption when we needed to maintain wheel spin. In terms of driver assistance, we'll take it out on the highway in a little bit. We should at least see what the highways are like, and I'll show you some of the lane departure stuff, some of the adaptive cruise control. Also, you gotta see how quiet it is. This particular one is fitted with the heads-up display, which is absolutely beautiful. Material usage throughout is great. Comparing this to the A6 sedan, this weighs 220 pounds more. You lose 2 mpg on the EPA cycle in the city, and you lose 3 on the highway. So you are giving up quite a bit of a fuel economy bump, and I really think that's to the raised ride height, and not the sloping back of the sedan. It's probably less aerodynamic. Take a look. This car has a tree on it. Pretty interesting. That guy, good luck getting your car out of there, sir. Now, I don't think this particular car is fitted with a tow hitch, but I've seen others towing with Audi Allroad. It may not be under warranty in the US, but at least if you need to get like a utility bike hitch or something, you can certainly do that. All of these touch screens here we're very familiar with from driving e-tron and other Audi models. You can slide your finger up and down here to change the temperature, or of course touch on either side. Heated and ventilated seats that you can run at the same time, which I think is pretty interesting. It heats up the leather but blows cold air. It's kind of neat. Then you have, of course, hill descent control. You can set preset favorites throughout here. This top screen is like your general infotainment. It has wireless CarPlay, which is great. Wired Android Auto and wired CarPlay as well. A few different settings you can adjust. You can take a look at all of your, lighting controls for the car, etc. It goes deep, deep, deep. This particular one's not fitted with the massaging seats, but I will say the Audis with massaging seats are awesome. They are so good, and I sort of wish this one was fitted. Take a look above. You'll see dual pane sunroof where the front and rear have 2 different shades controlled individually. So wait, that opens this. I'm going the wrong way here. I gotta push this one forward and push that one back. Right, because they operate in like opposite directions, which is kind of weird. So to close the front shade, you have to push the front one forward and the back one back, because they both meet in the center. So to open the shades, it's kind of nice. You just squeeze both buttons and then the shades will come through. You can see here, auto start stop canceled all accessory usage when the vehicle started back up. Interesting for a mild hybrid, because many mild hybrids, again, 48 volt electrical system, have the juice to provide accessory power while doing an engine start cycle, which I guess the Audi just chose not to, which is fine. So everything's programmed to stop and then restart. Imagine the programming that went into stuff like that. Pretty neat for sure. Everything in this car is just engineered to the tens. I mean, you get the feeling of this. The all-wheel drive system has tons of different modes, as I showed you before. The brake pedal calibration is fantastic. Really bitey brake pedal when you get into it. The brakes perform flawlessly. The acceleration on this car is nice because of that turbo, but also that mild hybrid boost. So in that little turbo with the electric motor I was telling you about can spin to 75,000 RPM in 250 milliseconds. What that means is I put my foot down a little bit and we already are accelerating instantly. As soon as it drops a gear, it's just whoosh, really super, super nice. It means it doesn't actually have to drop down too far to spin a turbo. So very rarely do you get this engine up at the high revs, but when you do, I'll just demonstrate, it sounds pretty good. Take a listen. Doesn't get a move on. It's very quick. 5.1 seconds to 60 manufacturer rated. We've tested it at 5.5, I think, and this is at altitude with 2 people in the car. So seriously quick car. for what it is. I mean, look, you can get an RS6 Avant, which is awesome that you can get an RS6 wagon, but honestly, this is the one that most people probably just need to own, and it does everything you could ever want, and it certainly is walks away from cars that are not deserving to be slower than this. It's pretty surprising. So I think that's a pretty neat tour of Snowpocalypse. We had a good blast driving around in the snow in this thing, and had a nice tour of the Audi A6 Allroad. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing the craziness that shut down Colorado. Normally snow doesn't bug anyone here, but this much snow certainly catches people's attention. Well, I have the car in comfort mode right now, and you can see the dampers and the whole suspension calibration is soaking up these bumps like nothing. So I think what we'll do is we'll jump onto I-25 here, and we'll go north just for an exit and see what that's all about. Is the highway even open?
I don't know if you can go north, because
Oh no, you can. You just can't go up to Cheyenne because the highway is closed like a couple exits up. The thing is, in this area where we are, there's just massive winds that can create trucks flipping over, snowfall, like unbelievable amount. And so here, like the on-ramp to the highway is not even plowed. So how are people getting on the highway? I guess we'll have to go down there and go on from the other directions on ramp. This is pretty nuts. So we'll put it back into all road for this. We'll turn traction control off all the way. Oh, that's on. You have setting on, off-road, and then full off. We're going full off for the on-ramp. And we're gonna hit this with some speed and vigor. What do you think, Timon?
Yeah, just gonna send it, bud.
Just gonna send it? All right, here we go. Into second, boom. Oh yeah, I forgot there was even traffic lights we need to worry about. That's okay, no one's around. Here we go, and now we're on a nice paved highway. Back into drive. Suspension, comfort. Now I'm sure it's going to vibrate quite a bit because we have you know, snow in the wheels that have just accumulated, but I do want you guys to experience just how quiet this thing is while highway cruising. So let's get it up to speed, foot down hard. Man, the acceleration performance is really good, and I love the pitch and dive in comfort mode. In dynamic mode, the car hunkers down and becomes stiff, but in comfort it's nice because it just floats up to speed. When you're on the highway in the all-road, you have tons of driver assistance systems. To start, you can kick on your adaptive cruise control using the bottom left stalk. Of course, you can raise and lower your speed, and you have five different distance settings. I'm just moved it to distance setting 3. On the turn signal, you have a little button on the end of the signal where you can turn on and off 2 different functions baked into one button. The first function is a lane departure assistance. For example, if I run over and touch a lane, it's going to push me back in to the side, which is a really good functionality. The second is I get this little green steering wheel in the dashboard here, and this is lane centering. And Audi's lane centering is really good. It is up there with some of the best because it just locks you in the lane. It doesn't wobble too much. It doesn't get too confused by many different variables. It just keeps you there, and it makes driving so easy for long distances. Now, this isn't a driverless system. It's purely a level 2 driver assistance functionality where it requires a torque input into the steering rack to know if the driver is paying attention. And yeah, just as a mile muncher, this car going on a cross-country trip, for example, you can fit all your family in here. It's unbelievably quiet with this dual pane glass. This is a car to cover some distance in for sure. You'll have to forgive the silly boots, one of them which is split open. I'm not prepared for this storm, but the Allroad gets some changes over the sedan that are worth noting. The first being this widened sort of grille with these vertical slats. Really good looking grille. You can see you have your driver assistance sensors right here in the front bumper as well. You can have LED matrix lights as an option, full LED matrix. These ones I think are just the entry level matrix, which are optional in the sedan. You also get this sort of brushed silver looking trim throughout the car underneath underneath looks good. Again, that comes with some of the underbody protection that comes with the Allroad. These are specific wheels to Allroad as well, 20-inch in diameter. I think they look the business. They are so nice, and of course they house those pretty large brakes. Let's take a look at room throughout the car. I've already showed you the trunk earlier on in this video, but let's take a look at back seat room. So let me jump back here, push some things off to the side, including this very handy dandy snow brush over here. And now I have the seat set to my seating position, but it's also gone into its comfort access. So the front seat's actually way farther back than where a normal person would sit. Again, I'm 6'1", but look, even with boots, I can sit back here with the seat far extended. Great headroom, really comfortable rear seats. I have a whole touch screen climate panel as well, so I can adjust my heated seats, the vent temperature. There's 12-volt, 2 USB ports as well. This one has the Bang & Olufsen sound system. There's two to choose from, a 725 watt one, and then like a 1200 or 1500 watt crazy system. In terms of driver seat comfort, let me jump in. I'm gonna kick the car on as well, so I can get in, hit the start button. Take a look at this. Steering wheel comes down, comes towards me, just depending on how I have it set, but of course you can set your comfort access this way. Gotta say, it's just so easy to get in and out of. The car isn't low to the ground. It's sort of just below butt height, so not quite CUV, SUV level, but still more than manageable. Tons of room in here in terms of elbow room, head room. Cabin feeling is very spacious. My one want would be is for the driver's seat to go a little bit lower. I do think I'm sitting up high in this car, and I wish there was a way that this seat just dropped another 1.5 inches or so, but that's just for me. Let's jump in and end this video. We'll do a little conclusion. And we're gonna end this video with a very neat, well thought out touch. This is the key for the car. Of course, it's very basic. Lock, unlock, and you can open the trunk. But if you look here in the center console, there's a little cutout which holds the key perfectly. And that is nice, because you can't imagine how many cars we get into with keys and we end up just throwing them places like this. Audi has thought about that, and you just put the key right there. So thanks so much for watching another Out of Spec Reviews video. There will be plenty more videos coming on the A6 Allroad that will be coming after this. This is sort of our introduction to the car arriving to the channel, as we do whenever we get a car on loan. I'm really excited about this one because I love wagons. I love newer Audi products, really all of them actually. And I think this might be one of the best wagons. Should we do a video comparing this to the Volvo V90 Cross Country, let us know, because there's a lot to talk about there. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.